All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Hurley Investments Market View Commentary for Monday, the 23rd. We are in our Thanksgiving week. Excited to show you a little bit about what we're doing. This is one of those weeks that you're not going to pay any attention to, though. So let's go over last week. Last week, the index was down almost 1% at 0.8%. Vaccine hopes were moving us higher through this month. Let's see, we had a record closing high on Monday, but wasn't able to top that last week. S&P is still up 8.8 for the month, I believe, to date. That's going to put us at about 10%, 10.5% for the year. Pfizer, Moderna, there's a third one that came out today for vaccines. And again, as I said in my email, if you haven't noticed the email in the recap, the idea behind this is to not get everyone vaccinated, but to get enough people vaccinated that you can treat some of those and still be in good shape. Not have a run on our hospital, not be able to use those services. It's just to lower the infection rate, to literally not have a run on our hospitals. If Maud was here, she'd probably put me in my place, which she's good at doing, but she's going to know best. Let's see here. Crude oil futures has moved. I still don't think oil is going to move anytime quickly. I would not be jumping into the energy oil sector whatsoever. We have a glut of oil, and with more people working from home, with more people, plain and simple, producing oil in our world now, not going to see a big run on oil anytime soon. Hot stocks were Boeing. If you notice for your leap calls or your shares, you should be doing pretty good in Boeing. All the way up to, what was it, 123.02. Had to pull back, technical pullback. And that's a little bit about what I'm going to go over with you today. The problem with being up where we're at is we're going to have some technical pullbacks. Boeing made a great run the other day, all the way up to 123. And then we just came back because we were touching that overbought category. Last time it was overbought, wow, fell from 215 down to 166. I wouldn't expect that, but it's going to struggle. It's going to move sideways for a bit. We probably won't see Boeing above 225, 235, even though it could be at 250. We're probably going to have to see that going into next year. Boeing technically has enough sellers and buyers that when it gets overbought, oversold, it sells off, they take their profits, and off we go. So at least we have a reference point now up at 223, 225, a good reference point to know, hey, possibly add or roll some shares up to that area if we need to. With that said, if you take a look, Apple absolutely sucks right now. I have an article on why Apple's doing so bad. I don't believe it, but Apple is breaking the 50-day, but holding its pivot point. For those of you who have shares of Apple, if Apple continues to fall tomorrow, we need to add some protection. It'll probably go down to 107, maybe 102. It does not make sense. If you look way down there at the bottom, we are just touching oversold on a institutional basis. But UBS and Barron's came out today saying, hey, Apple is, it doesn't have the super cycle that you think. It's only going to be 210 million iPhones next year, not 230 million. And out of curiosity, it was a survey. When you're selling 1 billion iPhones over a 3-year period, what, 1.4 billion active users on your platform? Would someone please tell me, what is a good sample survey if you're going to, if you're going to pick on Apple? If you're going to pick on Apple and say, yeah, they don't have a big super cycle, not a lot of people are interested in buying the phone, what would the sample survey would you want to see and receive when you know they've got a 1.4 billion active users on their websites and so forth, 1 billion active phone users? What's a good sample size that you would take as, hey, I better pay attention to these guys, they might know what they're talking about? $100,000, right? I like that, Dave. That's a good one. 100,000 might be a good number. Anyone else have a peek? Mary has 100,000 as well. So it looks like it's 100,000, huh? That's the magic number. So what would you say to UBS and Barron's that did a survey of 7,000 smartphone users in the US, the UK, China, Germany, and Japan? Do you think that is enough people surveyed to get an accurate depiction on, no, they're only going to sell 210 million iPhones next year, not 230, because we surveyed 7,000 people in 6 different countries. I just wonder. Hello, you're an iPhone user. Are you going to buy an iPhone tomorrow? No? All right, thank you very much. When I say Apple is down for no good reason, this is my example of why Apple is down for no good reason. Man, all I can say is this. The stupidity of people right now are amazing. Just amazing. And my golly, with all the billions of dollars they have that they're going to keep buying up their stock, I wasn't planning on buying an iPhone 12, but I bought the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the most expensive one. I don't know what to tell you. I just sit there and scratch my head sometimes and I go, really? You've got to be kidding me. I just don't understand. Let's face it. All right. With that said, today was a ridiculously hard day in the market. Our markets moved as if there was zero volume. And the weirdest thing, the S&P normally goes through billions. In fact, let me bring up the SPX here really quickly. It goes through billions of trading, shares traded. It was not a real big day on the S&P today. Let's just take a quick look so you can see what I saw. Up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. Not a big worry. Opens up 9:30 Eastern. We go up to 35.90. 35.90. Mess around for 15 minutes. And I'm thinking we're going to break 3,600 off we go. And then in the matter of an hour, we go from 35.86 all the way down to 35.53. 63. 35.53. 63. It's 63. 35.63. Ridiculous. Next hour back up to 35.75ish. I'm thinking, hey, we're good. All the way down for the New York lunch, 35.53.40. In fact, it was actually technically a little bit less than that, 35.52.09. Back up, down, and a roaring finish to finish a little bit higher than where we closed on Friday. It was wild to see this kind of movement. If we go back to Friday that had options expiration, look how flat or sideways Friday was. But Kevin, we sold off here at the end. I know we did. It's options expiration. It was rebalancing. Last half hour, it does that. With next to no volume, look at the range. 35.90 all the way down to 35.55. At one point, it was the low 35.52. A huge range for the S&P. Someone please tell me, why is our S&P so volatile and moving so much today? Why is the S&P 500 so volatile and moving so much today? Anyone? Bueller. Why is, oh geez. Why is the S&P so volatile today? And if you don't know, put in a couple question marks. Anyone have an idea why it was so volatile today? Apple moved the market. Not quite. I have a no idea and some question marks. Going once, going twice for a third time. Anyone? All right. We're a little volatile today because No volume due to a holiday week. So if you go back to the chart I just showed you on the S&P for that daily chart, the S&P was never intended to move this way. The S&P doesn't move this way. It's just doing so with the big movements of what? 45 points, 48 points, 38 points, because there's no volume. The big candles intraday, both up, huge candles, and down. No volume. No volume because big money basically went out on Friday. For this week, this is not a good week to be initiating trades. This is the reason why when I pick on educations a little bit, there's educations that always have to give you a trade each week. That's stupid. Educations give a trade each week. Traders invest. There's not a good trade to put on every week. But Kevin, you have options. You can go up, down, or sideways. Again, that is true. But every week is not a good week to trade. The difference between an education and a real investor, education is paper trading. It's amazing how freaking good you can get paper trading with no emotion, no real money at stake, no skin in the game. Man, paper trading is the way to go. It kills me. No volume. We had extremely low volume because, and only because it's a holiday week. Big money basically got out on Friday. So we're going to see some bigger swings tomorrow and even Wednesday, especially when you see what's on the docket for Wednesday. Wednesday is loaded. Come on. Still bullish on the Dow. Still bullish on the S&P. Still bullish. Moving up. Think we'll end November at 4%. Wednesday, we got to cram everything in because Thursday, market closed. Thanksgiving. Friday, half day. Thanksgiving. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you crunch everything together for your economic reports. Guess what? Will initial and continuing claims, this is a question for you guys, will initial and continuing claims, unemployment numbers, will they be up or down for Wednesday? That was quick. Two of you said down right away, which I think is correct, but why are the claims going to be down? David, you are the first one. Why are the claims going to be down? Bingo. One less day to count unemployment numbers. You're exactly right. You only have 6 days where you can account those initial claims. They're probably going to be down. You want to see foolishness? If the initial claims are only like 300,000 or 400,000, watch the market shoot up. It'll be just retail traders that'll then sell off at the end of the day. But watch the market shoot up. That is the type of, I don't want to call it ridiculous, but uneducated trading that'll go on this week. So the best thing to do is Tuesday, Wednesday, call it a week. Look at your accounts again on Monday. Earnings wise, we have the second week of retail, Urban Outfitters, Cabot. Tuesday, Abercrombie and Fitch, Best Buy, Burlington Coat Factory, Chico's, VMware, Dick's, Dollar Tree, Guess, Tiffany. Abercrombie and Fitch is on Tuesday. EO's after the market closes. Dale, Hewlett Packard, Deere on Wednesday. Pretty light week for earnings. It's the second week of the retail. Next week will be the last week of retail. Then we'll be in Christmas. Maybe we'll get a Christmas rally. My goal is to let stocks run into Christmas rally and to protect gains that are in accounts. That's the idea. I want to do the best I can to protect whatever gains are in the accounts, especially since some of us have done really well this year. If we have some of those gains, I want to do the best we can to make sure those gains are going into the end of the year at where they're at, where we don't see anything that happens that those gains disappear. Let's just put it that way. Now, there are a couple of you, if you're waiting on Boeing, you probably haven't had the best of year yet. If you have Baidu calls that are part of your account, you probably haven't had the best of a year yet. With that said, Apple probably treated you pretty well. We're getting ready to dollar cost average those. Let's see, Bank of America probably treated you pretty well. Disney treated you well, and Visa's done okay. So plain and simple, do expect to, I want to build some cash. The short answer is I would like to be cash heavy moving into this year. I want to be way cash heavy. I mean, 50, 60% cash heavy would be my preference going into the end of this year. I want to have the opportunity to, as we go into a repeat of next year, to do everything I can to take advantage of some price points that we're used to as we've seen some things fall down. Core holdings, Apple, Boeing, Bank of America, Baidu, Disney, Visa, Under Armour, Ford. Depending on your size of your account, we have those spread around for you. And again, I'm looking to be cash heavy going into this year. That's kind of where I'm sitting at. So next week, as I start to make phone calls, we'll see if it's okay to pay a little bit in taxes. A little bit in taxes to be ready for probably a repeat of last year and an idea of what Biden may do to our country as we increase taxes and so forth. A little bit about Baidu, as I just lost it. Come on, Baidu. Baidu has their smart device business valued at $2.9 billion after a cash injection. Here they are creating another revenue stream. Their revenue stream hurt them at their last earnings. They had fabulous earnings. They really should be at 150. Not going to happen just yet. But we have Baidu as a loaded spring to shoot up higher as soon as we can get over the dislike between the United States and China. A little bit on the currency devaluation. In all honesty, you need to pay attention to the strength of the dollar and to the point that we could lose our reserve currency status. The day we lose our reserve currency status, our country is in deep, deep trouble. Are we already in deep trouble, Kevin? Probably. Here we've had this great economic advantage and our politicians have spent like drunken sailors. So yes, we are in trouble. We will have to pay a piper. The neat thing is it still might not be for another 20 years. All right, very interesting on buying hard assets. I mean, if you're smart, right, buy bullets. Buy bullets so that when the government starts to regulate those, you've got a stock. I would suggest some food storage. I really, if we were smart, we'd get a wood burning stove put in this house, but food storage could be important. As I went looking through the stores thinking about Christmas shopping, there's some stores that are pretty barren out in Utah when it comes to food. This will be a lean Thanksgiving for the United States. Kind of good. We have our own turkey. Turkey Tom is probably going to die, but Turkey Tom might be saved because my family might not do a traditional Thanksgiving this year. We might keep the turkey for a reserve down the road. But pretty interesting. Treasury Mnuchin has made the comment that they're stopping some programs and putting money back into the budget. Kind of unusual that they're drawing it from the Fed, but the Fed can print their own money. Anyone here who will be the new Treasury Secretary for Biden? Anyone catch that news today? Biden is named as Treasury Secretary, and it looks like Janet Yellen's coming back. Good answer, Russ. Hey, Russ, good to have you here. I haven't seen you for a while. Glad to see you. Oh, Grandma Yellen is coming back. That's all I'm going to say. Pretty interesting. All right, let's see what else we have for you. Jim Cramer, 10 up. Stocks have been on a year-end rally. He obviously thinks we're going to have a Christmas rally. Yelling. Take a guess. What are some of the 10 stocks you could think that could be in the end of the year? The bizarre ones. I got one right out of all of them. Just taking a think, listen to them. What do you expect? Square, PayPal, Tesla, Roku, Amazon, ServiceNow, Okta, RingCentral, Twilio, Target. I should have gotten Target, but the only one I got right was Tesla. And it's funny because financials and services, financials and technology are kind of taking a hit right now, which is interesting because a lot of these have got their butts handed to them, except for Tesla, which just was up, what, $33 today. Kind of scares me that he's recommending all the technology they said you probably shouldn't invest in. So long, doorbusters. Black Friday will be more of an online Friday, it looks like. Not too many people rushing in the stores. So it'll be interesting to see Black Friday and what it's going to be. I would expect numbers will be down year over year. That does not necessarily mean that our economy is in trouble. We just haven't been able to produce and have the manufacturing up like it was in previous years because of COVID. So don't jump on the, hey, our economy's tanking bandwagon. Not necessarily true. Wednesday we'll have GDP numbers. It just means that factories have been slowing down to fight the coronavirus. All right, what do I have next for you? Start thinking of questions if you have any. 5 reasons to return to a Boeing 737 MAX is important to national security. A very interesting article, very little has to do with national security. Biggest exporter of advanced technology. Well, I think if you're an exporter of advanced technology, that's not helping your national security. World-class aerospace innovator. Probably not helping or worried about national security there. Supply chain. Keeping business going. Defense and commercial businesses are interdependent. And last but not least, Boeing is a product of free enterprise. So I don't know if that has much to do with national security, but obviously someone's pushing Boeing. And then I have Apple's ridiculous, not really a downgrade, but just UBS and Barron's saying that Apple's in trouble. Don't buy it, don't see it. All right, guys, what questions do you have for me? What questions do you have for me? This will be the only time this week that we're going to be out here. Being a holiday week, we're going to enjoy the holidays. David, when you say don't look at the market, will you literally not look at it? So the short answer is, of course, I'll be looking at it every single day. But the short answer is by Tuesday, tomorrow, maybe Wednesday morning, you guys don't have to. It's a waste. Will I do anything? Probably not. I'm not going to get caught up in low volume swing trading, day trading. The market will move ridiculously because there's just no volume. So as one of my little taglines was for you, I'm always watching the market so you don't have to. Go enjoy Thanksgiving. Go enjoy Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll make Keeve take care of it on Friday, right? So what I'm saying is you don't have to watch the market because we will, but you shouldn't be trading on a very short-term trend that'll most likely reverse whatever direction it is come next Monday. Retail traders, big swings because of low volume. Good question. Are there any other questions? New money. Kevin, I see you've had some new money and you've been putting it to work. What have you been doing? So because I want to be cash heavy, for some new money that's come in, I've tried to, for the smaller accounts, go to just some Under Armour positions. Not only that, but some Under Armour positions that were probably going to get called out pretty quickly. So new money, I've just done some covered calls. Bought the stock, want a little bit of cushion, had someone pay me where they'd buy the stock away from me. It looks like excuse me. It looks like some of the shares that we bought here. Let's get an answer here. Some of the shares we bought at $15. We took a, that can't be right. Because we've done it. Those ones can't be mine. Where are mine at? Here are mine, $15. Nope. That's because there are other shares with them. We bought some shares at like $14.50 that we sold $15 calls. And there we are. And these ones that we bought closer to $16, we sold $17 calls. So the short answer is these ones are mixed with some of these ones, which are mixed with some of these ones, which are mixed with some of these ones. And the short answer is we're going for 80 cents to $1.40. And literally, we just put it in for a quick return. Bought the stock by a little bit of protection with this short call. The stock will get called away from us for a profit. It came out to be about 3%. And I'm just trying to nibble in market areas because I'd rather be cash heavy after what I saw last year and how our market reacted when our cases were a fourth of what they are right now on a daily basis. Kind of ridiculous. We're going to have to pay. Our markets will realize higher taxes, no plan, and COVID coming up worse than we had it earlier. We're going to pay for that is a short answer. Jim, Rich is not here today. I don't see him online. Kevin, where would you put new money right now? Again, I'd probably do some short-term trades. I've chosen to put quite a few into Under Armour. It looks like 9, 12, 1,600 shares here. We've put some Boeing leaps in play. And the reality is I'm just looking to get through a Christmas rally, and I want to take some profits and build some cash. I really want you to be in that 50 to 60% cash heavy range so that we're going to be covered. Are there any other questions? If not, guys, have a wonderful evening and have a great week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for. As you always hear, feed a man a fish for a day and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. If you know how to fish, you can fish for forever. Okay, I'm making it up. What can I say? Guys, have a good night. Appreciate your time. We will see you next Monday. With that said, take care, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.